This is Miss DiBiase, and I am here to teach some new or quite possibly review techniques. Some of these you may be used to, some of these they may be new to you. Anyways, it's good to learn new things, and it's also a good thing to review things. I've been painting for a number of years, and each time I do them, I learn something new from them. So if you've done watercolors before, you can always learn from it to be doing it again. These are basically techniques that you can use in some of your other artwork. Quite possibly you can use it in some other artwork that we might be exploring in the near future. Anyways, I was asked to do some remote videos so that you can see them and learn them at your own pace and try to use things that you might find around your house as opposed to having to go to the art store, which is probably not open at this time. Anyway, so I am going to try something new, and we'll see how it turns out. So you'll get to see things that I'm going to do. I'm going to be exploring along with you, along with the technique. Alright, so I have a series of jars. These have a little bit of water in them, not much. I don't really know how much water to put in it. This is water for cleaning. I'm going to set it a little bit further over to the side. I have some napkins to wipe up possible mess. Remember, kids, anytime you're doing artwork at your parents' house, please clean up. They'll probably let you do artwork again, but if you don't clean up and they have to clean up after you, chances are they may not want you to do artwork at their house anymore. Okay, so try to clean up. We do that in our class all the time. We set up and then we restore. So the other material is Q-tips. Don't put these in your ears. We're going to use them as brushes today. Also, I have food coloring that I found. I think some of them date back to 1960s. I'm not really sure. Anyways, I don't know why I have so many food coloring things. I don't cook all that much. My husband does the cooking. But anyways, I'm going to turn them into watercolors. So I think I'll probably choose the oldest set. It's all dusty. These do stain, so be real careful. I have this wooden table that I know is not going to stain anything. You might want to drop down, put some old cloth or maybe some newspaper. But I'm going to add a couple of drops into this water. I can always add more later, or I can add more water into it. And it's getting Easter time, so I put about 3 drops in there. So it's a nice blue. Don't forget, put the lids on carefully. Alright, I have a yellow. Seem to be missing a red, so I might have to get into my other pack. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, just for good measure, maybe 4. Doesn't have a lot of water in it. Maybe I should put more. Alright. Couple more drops. There we go. Alright, don't forget to screw the lid on. See if I have any red in this one. It looks newer. Maybe that's why I had to buy a new one. No, more yellow. Green. This looks Christmassy. Ooh, score! Red. I wonder if it's any good. Nothing's coming out. Ooh, it looks all dried up. Okay, so what I'm going to do, besides trying to make a mess, I'm going to put a little bit of water in it because it should still be water soluble, which means you can break it down with the water. Put it in here. Shake it up. Remember, put that lid on. Okay, I think I got it going. Alright, so got a little bit of water in here. 1, 2, 3. Let's go with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, cool. Alright, so now I have my primary colors. And I'm going to start with the first technique. Oh yeah, and this paper here, it kind of looks like poster board, but it actually came from an old box. And I tore the box up in order to make some paper. So you too can find a gift box that is no longer in use and you can use it. The first technique we're going to be doing is the salt technique. So I have my salt, don't need it. I have my paper, I have my pencil, and let's get started at it. Alright, so there is a slick side and there's a matte side to this. I think I'm going to use the matte side. And I'm going to just basically draw a shape. Doesn't have to be perfect, just a shape. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my plain water and I'm going to use my Q-tip like a spoon and make sure the whole shape has plenty of water on it, because you're going to be doing first the wet on wet technique. Wet on wet is just like it says, wet paper, wet brush. Alright, so then I'm going to take my Q-tip and I'm going to tap it just on the top of my shape. And if I tilt it, you can see it starting to run down it. Because I have a lot of Q-tips, I'm just going to then switch over to another one. I do suggest getting the Q-tips a little bit wet before you put them into your watercolors. And then I'm going to put the other end. See how it's kind of running? I think I need a little bit more blue into mine. So I'm going to put a few more dots of it in there. I want it deeper so that you can see the demo. I'm going to tap the color onto it. Tap, tap, tap. Now, it looks good. I like that. This is real important. I'm going to put the salt on it, but after I put the salt on it, I can't touch up the color anymore. I can't touch the shape. I can't touch anything. I have to let the salt do what it does. It's a chemical reaction. It's going to suck up all the water and it's going to leave the color in a different place so that you're going to get more of a texture. So let me get a little bit of salt. Doesn't take much. If you put a ton of salt, it kind of doesn't work as good, but you want to put enough. So I sprinkle it and I rub my fingers over it like this to kind of spread it out evenly. I happen to have coarse kosher salt at this time. That's all I had in the house. And I'm just going to let it just sit. We're going to see what happens to it later. But you can see here where the salt is resting on it. Okay, so I'm going to set it aside and we're going to do a different technique. Okay, alright, on this next one, and I have another one of my little cardboard pieces, I'm going to take my I was going to use a crayon and I do not have a crayon here with me, so I think on my next technique I'm just going to do the splatter technique. Sorry, it's blurry. There we go. Splatter technique takes a lot of lung power and this can really get messy, so I do suggest you put paper down or go outside and do this one. It can be really messy. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, this is the shiny side because I really don't want it to stick too much on it. Again, I'm playing around with it. Might change my mind in a minute. So I am scooping the water and kind of, it's in a puddle at this point. Then I'm going to take it and I'm going to blow. Alright, so that's my first failed attempt. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to try it on this side. I'm going to puddle it up. Slick side didn't work so well, folks. It's okay. That's what we call we are exploring. Okay? There we go. This is so much fun. Now, try not to stand up after you do this. And I just blew my salt technique over there. Right. So then you can add different colors to it. See what they make. So you see it's a kind of interesting design going on to it. I'm going to try to work on some red. I haven't used red yet. Again, I'm getting my Q-tip wet. Then I'm sticking it into my food coloring. Blob it on, tap it on. It's kind of used like a little spoon. Okay. So then you can splatter as much as you want to, and then just set it aside also for drying. So we have the egg one. The round shape with the salt, and we also have the splatter. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is I think I'm going to get a candle because I do not have any crayons. Okay, so crayons basically are made of wax or soy, a waxy substance. So a candle will do just fine to illustrate this. This is one of my candles. I never burn it. I just like it for the way it smells. Wish you could smell it. Alright, so I'm going to do some vertical lines. Just drawing them on there. Yes, you cannot see them, but they're there. This is a technique called crayon resist. Today it will technically be wax resist. And what's going to happen is once the color goes onto your paper, the wax or the crayon will push the color off of it and you will get to see it through. It's a lot more fun with crayons, and I am so sorry, but I need to go to the store, if they're open, and buy me some crayons. Alright, I'm going to take my color. I think I'll do blue because it'll show up fastest for you. And I'm just going to rake it right across, and you can see the wax coming through. It's almost like you could do a little secret message. You just paint right over the top of it. Don't worry about going in between it. If by chance you did not do it thick enough, which means you didn't leave a lot of crayon down, it just kind of skimmed over the paper, you'll need to go back and make sure that you do your crayon thicker the next time you try it. That's what's good about doing these little tiny pieces of art or techniques, is that you can, you know, mess up and try it again. Alright, so you can see here that it's turned out quite well. And you can see my egg is still drying. Kind of got messed up there. But that's okay. We'll see what happens. Artists never throw anything away. They can always use it later for something else. So these are the main techniques. You have the salt on the wet on wet. You have the splatter technique. You have the crayon resist technique. Anyways, I hope you enjoy trying these. Have fun of it. Don't worry if you mess up. Just keep working through it. Main thing is, we don't want to see things that are perfect. We want to see things that are interesting. Alright, take care. Wash your hands. Later.